Revelation 790. From the 27th of February 1939. Divine will. Apparent periods of destruction, also God's work. The whole universe is ruled by the will of the divine Creator, and so it is never possible that His will can even closely be worked against by forces, which are nevertheless also subordinated to His will. The destroying influence of these can only assert itself in spiritual respect at the creatures animating the earth, provided that these themselves stand in free will, and the counterforce seeks to seize this will and to increase so the distance from God and to finally cause a complete separation from Him. However, if you oppose these forces with your full will, they are powerless and cannot do the least in the universe. And this must be made understandable to man, that everything depends only on his will, that highest happiness for eternity and likewise deepest night and damnation have the will of man as the completely only cause. And that also your earthly state is likewise caused by the will of man. That you build and form this yourselves, according to your turning away from or towards the divine Creator by your free will. It is so easy to understand that all spiritual good power immediately enters into connection with you, if you willingly surrender to it in the endeavor to serve the highest, your Creator. Then no counterforce has power over you, and it would have to remain completely inactive, if the whole of mankind would only put its will into the service of the Creator. And if this is understandable to you, then you will now also recognize the perfect power of Him who commands the whole universe. He leads and directs everything so that it is indestructible through eternities. That in the course of time enormous changes in the work of creation are provable, but in its basic elements, it remains indestructible. And that the reason of such transformation or apparent destruction periods is always to create a new possibility of further education for the innumerable spirit beings. These transformations stand in a certain connection with the free will of the being, which become necessary exactly by it, if the free will is not used in the right sense. It is true that also the bad spiritual forces are entitled to free will, but it finds its resistance in the material creation, and therefore every visible influence of spiritual power or higher will in nature or in existing works of creation will always have its origin with God, the Almighty Creator of heaven and earth, but such events can never be regarded as the expression of a counterforce of God, as the work of evil, because God alone rules over everything in the vast universe, and the counterforce will never be sufficient to intervene in God's rule and activity. Let these things be said to you people to strengthen your faith, so that you may turn your will to the Father in heaven alone, and thereby free yourselves from the power of him who wants to destroy you. Amen.